Hey, welcome to my channel. First off, congrats to McLaren. I don't want to say they're back, but quite honestly, it's been a while since what '98 or whatever it may be since they last won a constructors championship. Now, championship, drivers champion with basically Hamilton as well as Fernando Alonso. They won it individually, but team wise, they never made it. But in any case, the weird thing is basically McLaren. Congratulations for that. Ferrari. I mean, quite honestly, they could have taken this constructors cup had Sainz and Leclerc been able to finish 1-2, putting Lando Norris at 3. I think, and if they also got the fastest lap as well too, they probably could have taken this championship. But they did make a run for it. I mean, this is one of the nice. This season was an interesting season where they made a nice run. Quite honestly, I'll be honest. In the beginning, we figured he was going to be Max Verstappen, but I honestly thought the fact was is that Red Bull was going to win the constructors cup. Quite honestly, I didn't think I mean, Perez, Checo could have just basically checked out. I guess I have no idea because like the car was good enough. Let's be honest, the car was good enough. It's just that Checo, I'm not sure what happened with him, honestly, and that's a real surprise. I mean, it looks to the point of like with Christian Horner, maybe he did make a wrong choice of letting Gasly leave. The fact of the matter is Gasly probably was the one that probably would have helped him with the constructors cup. Sad part is the fact that Ferrari came and overtook him as well too, which is a big surprise as well too, not more than anything else. I mean, I quite honestly I did not see Ferrari surpassing Red Bull at that point as well so quickly, but they finished the number 2 spot, which was pretty impressive. Of Red Bull, back to the drawing board. I mean, they have Max. The question is like what happens next year. Seeing what happened this season, it's a little concerning. Not more so to the car engine itself, but more so Max, the driver, and his state. I mean, now he's a father apparently, but congrats to him for that. But the question comes down to is this: during those periods where he wasn't winning and he was having his immaturity showed up again, and that's the real surprise. Is like you wouldn't think a guy that's won 3 straight championships, now 4, would be this immature, but it's showing it, and it's kind of surprising. Or sorry, third. It's kind of surprising, and the sad part is like what happens next year? Will he be complaining like next year too? I mean, if he for the first 5 races, if he doesn't finish first, you got to wonder what his mental state will be at that point. Will he be an immature person, where to the point like Horner will have to rein him in, or like he was like, all right, you can go, because looking at what Ferrari's been doing and McLaren, do not be surprised if Lando improves considerably, but more so Piastri. Now, Piastri is one of those people where you've seen him. He, for a rookie, he's done really well with the McLaren car. Do not be surprised him actually challenging Lando Norris for the number 1 spot. Now, the real question comes down to is with Ferrari. You have Leclerc and now Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari. How can Ferrari maintain their momentum with the car and with the engine itself for next year, basically 2025? Because 2026 things change again as a result. So it's up to Hamilton to actually get his final. I don't want to say it's his final shot of getting a championship, and to break Schumacher's record, but more so it's to help him solidify getting more wins and such to beat out I mean, to not beat out Schumacher as one thing for the championship, but also to increase the number of wins so that his record will be hard to come close to. Of course, reality is probably will be broken. But in any case, I honestly thought Max would break it, but seeing the season of how he reacted in certain cases, I'm like, maybe he's not. And Piastri, I think Piastri is that future. And if he maintains his cool like he's done this season, look for him to be the new number 1 over Lando. Because Lando, you saw those cases where he was like a little temperamental as well too, and that was surprising in itself too. Carlos Sainz, I hate to say it, I mean you were shoved out. I think you should have stayed instead of Leclerc, but Leclerc does show promise, and like Leclerc and Hamilton, they might essentially create that competition that Hamilton might make Leclerc better by giving him the pointers and such, and like challenging him and pushing beyond his limits. Because quite honestly, when Sebastian Vettel was with Ferrari, he refused, and I don't think he was willing to impose some of his insights as like Alonso was with trying to do with basically with what's his name, Lawrence Stroll. Uh, or Lance Stroll, sorry, Stroll himself. Papa Stroll has to like get rid of his sin and bring in another proper version. Signs would have made more sense, quite honestly. But in any case, it's also a sad state that we did see sort of an end of an era with Lewis Hamilton with Mercedes' final. I mean, it's great that he finished fourth. It would have been great if he finished second. I mean, for nostalgia's purpose, it would have been great if he won, but we knew that was never going to happen. But it was impressive that he did come up to number four, considering what happened in the qualifying rounds. That shows how good of a driver he is with the right car. It shows how good of a driver or how great of a driver he is. Let's be honest. It's showing how much he is as a GOAT. The fact that he came back from 15th, 16th, or 14th actually to number four, that's really impressive. Russell, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him next year because he's going to be the new number one. I don't think he's at number one. I think he needed someone else to be there with him. Alonso probably would have made sense. I mean, it would have been interesting if Sebastian Vettel or Nico Hulkenberg comes back. That would be interesting to see if Nico were to come back. If Mercedes is like, you know what, we need you back, Nico. Would he come back? But now Hamilton's not there, and he has the car. He'll be the new number one. But I don't think that's going to happen. In any case, look for next year, basically to the point where if Max does not win the first two to three races, come basically right off the bat winning these races. Let's look at his temperament. Let's look at his temperament. If he starts complaining and bitching, then I would not see him winning that season. Basically, similar to Lando Norris as well too. If he starts complaining as well too, I think both of them. It comes down to their temperament. See how their temperament is, because Leclerc is a prima donna as well too, and it makes sense in certain cases. But at the same time, if they all three start like their temperament isn't there, it shows that they're not ready for the maturity level of being great drivers like Hamilton is. But in any case, we're interested to see how that works. If you do like this video, please hit the like button. That'd be great to know. If I actually know based on what content I should focus on based on the likes I've seen. As well as please, if you haven't subscribed, I do ask if you can hit the subscribe button. I don't think you should hit the notification button because if you want to be notified, it's great. It's up to you. I honestly don't think I'm notify worthy just yet. But in any case, I'll leave it at that. If you have any comments, let me know your thoughts about this. Like, do you for next year? Is next year going to be the year to see what happens? Do you think it's going to be McLaren next year as well too, or Ferrari most likely, or maybe even Mercedes? Does Mercedes come back, or Red Bull for that matter? It'll be interesting to see how that works. I'll probably come next year discuss more about this. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Again, you're welcome to leave your comments in the comment section. I do read them all, and I do respond to them when they warrant a response. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.